It's been a couple years since our last trip.
I still have PTSP, post-traumatic pumpkin. PTPSD. PTPSD, post-traumatic pumpkin stress disorder. PTPSD.
It's really not that bad. You make it seem like so much worse, but it's really not that bad.
You're fooling yourself and you don't believe it.
Wow. Thanks, Sticks. I appreciate it. So, as you can tell, we are about to start several episodes, several weeks of some podcasting about some new pumpkin beers. And then eventually we will get back to some old favorites as well and see where these new ones rank or if they can even match up.
See if they do.
Some previous ones. So we have our first pumpkin beer of the 2018 season for this Give It a Shot. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith. And the
Pumpkins!
I was so distracted by the pumpkins. And I'm Keith. And we are About Beverages.
We are.
And the beverage that we're about today is the Elysian Night Owl Pumpkin Ale. I really could not remember what the name of that was.
That's
you just showed it to me earlier today. I was like, it's Elysian, it's pumpkin. So no, I know.
Oh, I see how it is. See, this is what I have to work through.
But I am happy to see those pumpkins. I'm happy we're sitting in the midst of this pumpkin patch. And as much as I like to give you grief about it, it's always a fun time.
It is pretty fun. So anyway, I went and did my usual trip, went to the store. They had many a pumpkin beer. It was a bountiful harvest, as it were. I've immediately saw some of the ones that we'd had previous years, some very bad.
You can go back to the archives and take a look at those.
Yes, look at the previous years. We have had a lot of pumpkin beers.
We have.
I wager to guess there is no one that has more full pumpkin beer knowledge than the two of us sitting at this table. In fact, people were even asking me at work today. They were asking me about pumpkin beers. I said, you have come to the right man.
You have. That's right.
So anyway, this one from Elysian jumped out to me for a couple reasons. One, this owl was staring me down, and it frightened me a little bit. But two, this is what I thought was interesting. So we always look for stuff that actually has pumpkin in it or the squash, because that we feel makes a huge difference that we've learned over the years, other than just like, I'm throwing some spices in my ale. Get out of here with that.
Go away.
So this one uses both roasted pumpkin and raw pumpkin seeds in the mash.
Nice. Okay.
And then pumpkin is also added in the fermenter as well. Look at all that. Lots of pumpkin going on. Yes. So that sounded awesome. And then obviously they have the usual ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, allspice, the other things that you would expect. So that made me super excited. And they do use a bittering hop. They use Magnum in here. So this sounded like a very well-rounded beer, so much so that they have another beer that you will be seeing in a couple weeks that is an imperial pumpkin beer.
Not necessarily an imperial version of this.
I don't think so.
We don't know. It could
I'll have
be,
to triple check
not,
on it.
Maybe not.
I'll have to triple check on that. So this is awesome. All the talk about pumpkin beers, but unfortunately, we are missing the beverage as we always are. The bottle is around here somewhere. I've got glasses. I don't.
Oh, see, at least Phil likes pumpkin beers.
I think he does.
He appears to, or maybe no. Or is that shock?
Is he shocked? Or is it awe? Which is it?
I think it's awe.
Aw,
yeah.
What's that? I think he's wishing the owl was looking back at him.
He actually, it's funny. He actually does look kind of perplexed.
It's a good little balance. All right. No, I already want it back. I want you to get I thought you were grabbing the beer.
No, I wanted you to see.
I'm thirsty.
How Phil looked looking at the owl.
All right. Do you want to see how Phil looks at the owl? Okay, we can come back to that. I can tell you want it.
Can't really tell.
You can't. We can only see one eye of the owl right there. But you should, just lift it up a little bit. And as we mentioned last week, I know a lot of people think like, oh, you could just put up the JPEG, you could put up whatever in the background. No, practical effect. I have an album over there, a camera on it,
the vinyl.
I could do it for like literally 100,000th less cost, but I didn't. I went the full extent. We bought a top. Actually, the camera down there better than the one we use. That's how much we care about Phil Collins.
Really?
No, that's not true.
Oh, okay. Wow.
That's not true at all.
Wow. The Collins cam is better.
The Collins cam is expensive. All right, let's get into this. We have mentioned tons of facts, which I appreciate, except for the ABV. I did not say what that was.
6.1.
6.7.
Ah, damn it.
Were you guessing?
I was totally guessing.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
But sometimes ones do look like sevens and vice versa.
Well, that was kind of why I was like,
I should have said yes.
That you were guessing,
yes,
or that you knew?
That I knew. I just read it wrong.
Yeah. It's 6.L. Because 7's upside down?
Yeah, it's funny. We talk about color first, and it just...
Which we are. Talk about color. Speak of it.
Remind me about that later.
Remind you about color? Okay.
Yes. Difference of color.
Hard to tell.
Oh, it's...
Hard to tell here. All right, we'll go in front of the shirt. Nope, still kind of dark there. Yeah. Okay, it is a little lighter than what it is appearing on camera right now.
Yeah.
But it is still kind of a nice... it kind of reminds me of like a strong ale kind of color. Like almost like a lighter, arrogant bastard kind of looking thing. Like that kind of coloring. I'm not saying flavor at all.
Look at our colors, though.
I'm trying to get...
Oh, I was trying to hold it to the same level.
I was trying to be able to kind of like do one of these, and you kept raising it up.
All right.
Oh, wow.
It's different.
Is it because that is different?
Yours is more clear copper. Mine almost looks lighter or cloudy. I'm not sure.
It didn't say to shake it up like the cars always told me to, but I'm not sure.
Which reminded me of the tasting the other day.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
So many of those colors were different from beer to beer. So
yeah, we went to a large tasting short version of that, and it was amazing. Even from Keith would get his beer and I would get mine from the same bottle, and we walk back and I'd be like giving different tasting notes and looking at it, and you'd be like, wow, it's super clear. And I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
And we'd look and like I said, and even coloring, because sometimes clarity with a goose, like if they pour a little
sediment,
they're a little heavy-handed with the sediment.
And but even in this beer here, it's got some nice depth. There's heavier notes in there of almost like, I don't think it was listed on there, but almost like cardamom or something.
Yeah.
A heavier, like you find in root beer, like almost licoricey.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm getting more of like a molasses brown sugar sweet in there, and weirdly enough, it's a pumpkin beer. But this actually made me think of like fresh apple pie. There was like a high fruit pop note in there.
Yeah.
And like I said, that could be, I mean, it wouldn't be the hop. But anyway, there definitely is a bright fruit note that made me think of all of a sudden more apple pie than pumpkin pie.
Well, that, and then there's some cinnamon.
But smelled quite delicious.
There's some cinnamon in there too.
Yes.
Then,
oh, yeah.
That I think adds to that and accentuates. So.
Do you want to see if mine smells any different because of the color? Or is it all the same?
Oh, I think that's about the same.
Okay, aroma.
It sounds like we're getting the same stuff.
Okay,
yeah.
Just check.
It wasn't like you were saying one thing, and I
taste tobacco and spearmint. And
what?
No. All right, taste time. Pumpkin seeds are really the dominant flavor in this. Just kidding.
I don't get a lot of pumpkin.
No,
I get the spices.
I get apple pie. I seriously keep getting it. Like it's now like a nice sharp Granny Smith apple fruit note in the middle of my tongue. The spices, like you just talked about, the sweet is still there. So everything I got. This is what I do love. I mean, sometimes I don't mind when it goes a little different, but I do love when what I got in the aroma. I'm pretty much I'm getting in the taste, and that's good. This just needs to be called Night Owl Apple Pie.
Autumn pie.
Autumn
harvest pie. Or something. I mean, so it could be up to your interpretation.
Something, yeah, because this to me screams more apple pie than pumpkin pie.
Yeah, I'm not really getting any.
The depth, that lower kind of squash note isn't there, but it's really good. I kind of like it.
It's very flavorful. I don't dislike it. There's something in the finish that is.
They put pumpkin juice in here. Do you think that actually is adding to that note? I don't know what pumpkin juice. I've never had like the juice of a pumpkin. I just saw that under the tasting notes. They actually were saying that it was brewed with pumpkin puree and juice. Even though I read all those other things, they also mentioned about. So I don't know what pumpkin juice would taste like. That's one hell of a juicer.
Yeah.
If you're juicing a pumpkin. I've seen apples being juiced recently. But pumpkins, oh my God. That's got to be huge.
Imagine the pulp. My God, the pulp.
The pulp. Well, I like this. It's not what I would not. If someone said they want a pumpkin beer, I wouldn't recommend this because it does not taste like a pumpkin.
How pumpkin-y do you want your pumpkin beer?
Right. Yeah. Like I said, if you said I want a beer that tastes like. Well, you said autumn pie, apple pie. Like it literally is apple pie. It's like a Granny Smith apple pie.
I don't go quite that far. I know what you're getting at, and I get some like of a sweeter fruit note, like an apple like that.
See, I get a tart,
but I don't. I get a sweetness at the end.
I get that, but to me, like as soon as I take a sip, right in the middle of my tongue, I get a fairly sharp, and it's definitely not lemon. It's not those. It's apple. And it's like taking a bite of like an apple, like I said, and then all that other stuff is around it.
I don't know if I could identify it as distinctly as you are. There is something like I said, when you take a bite of an apple and you kind of toward the end and you have that refreshing sort of sweet if it is a sweeter apple on the front of your tongue. That I get that. I get the spices. I don't know. I think maybe by default, if somebody handed this to me and said, "What do you think of this?" and I tasted the spices, I might think, "Is it supposed to be pumpkin?" Because I'd be wondering what it was.
Right.
But I could not necessarily say, "Oh yeah, that's a pumpkin beer." There's not a lot of body to it, and there's just not there isn't that squashy pumpkin.
Body's a little thin.
Yeah,
it's not.
But it's very very flavorful.
Yeah. I like I said, I like it because it's on the different side, but unfortunately, I don't think that quite qualifies as like if you're looking for a traditional like, hey, I want a pumpkin beer.
Right.
You might like this for what it is, but it's not. I don't think it's going to hit the real pumpkin connoisseur.
Correct.
Excuse me. That is correct. It's also highly carbonated.
Bubbles plenty.
Well, hopefully that beer right there, Elysian Brewing, got you interested in what we're going to be doing over the next few weeks as we have many a pumpkin beer. But if you want to see all the ones that we have tried in past years, and there has been a lot of them, I'm not building it up. I'm not what word am I looking for? I'm not lying.
I'm not being redundant.
I'm not being redundant. Yeah, I'm saying things over
and I think there was only one time we tried one again, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't know we had it," and it was the Great Lakes pumpkin.
Oh,
so we have tried several, and they've all been different, I think, except for that one.
We have,
unless we intentionally try to winner again.
We have a large breadth of knowledge. Go to the website AboutBeverages.com, search for either pumpkin beer or fall beers or any of those kinds of things. You will find many of them, and usually every year that we did this, we would then pick our favorite, rank it against the one that we liked the previous year, and kind of keep pulling those forward. So as of this moment, if you need to know of a couple good pumpkin beers, because maybe that's what you're waiting for, you kind of didn't like this one. The ones we were talking about before the show, our big three that we've liked the most are the Pugsley's Smashed Pumpkin.
Right.
That's from Shipyard Brewing. It's an Imperial Pumpkin because it's like 9%, which is kind of cool too. If you're into that sort of thing. It's and then what else? The Dogfish Head Pumpkin.
Yeah.
That one is always also very good every year. And then what was the other? Oh,
that was the first one that won. That was the
correct. Well, the first one that won technically was the Shipyard Brewing one.
Shipyard. Oh, I thought that's what you were.
No, it was Shipyard's Pumpkinhead.
Oh, I thought you were going to mention.
No, I thought you wanted to mention the Ballast Point.
Oh, I forgot about that. But you said you didn't even see that.
I did not see it this year. I didn't go looking for it because I wasn't looking for one I'd already had.
Okay.
But the Ballast Point Pumpkin Down, if they're still making it, it's a Scotch pumpkin ale.
Yeah.
That one's really good too.
That was good.
A lot of those last couple were really delicious because they almost incorporated like a buttery crust kind of flavor. It was crazy. It was really good. Unless,
like we were saying, Ballast Point has added mango or watermelon or something to it, then we probably wouldn't like it as much.
No, not so much. So anyway, head to the website for all that stuff. Some of those videos may be on youtube.com/AboutBeverages if you want to subscribe to us there and just get right to the video content along with all the other things we do. And if you want to watch us live over the next few weeks as we try all these pumpkin beers, interact with us, let us know what pumpkin beers you like, don't like, or even if you hate the style, like let us know why. We'd love to interact with you. Twitch.tv/AboutBeverages. But as we always say, whether we like it or not,
you should give it a shot.